everyone and welcome. It's Shanna. So glad you're here. Now I brought in some older cards. We've got Pooh and Piglet. We've got Tigger and Eeyore. These are all die sets. And then we've got a better press with the Pooh. So the Tigger and Eeyore go together and the Pooh and Piglet go together. And now we've got Rabbit and Owl. And this is a new addition to the Pooh Classic Pooh set. And we've also got, along with that, we have got the Classic Pooh birthday accessories, and we have got the Classic Pooh birthday numbers 3D embossing folder, and we have a better press plate that has a very happy birthday sentiment. And I've already pressed and inked with bark, better press ink, and I've got the die. I've got them die cut out. We've got our panel embossed, and we're going to make a couple cards. I want to be able to use a couple different owls here. I've got one assembled, and we're going to assemble one. And then I've got the birthday accessories, and we're going to make a couple cards. So I assembled the one just to get it out of the way. I'm going to show you, I've got the, you can go on the Spellbinders website and print out the assembly sheets for their products. So I thought I would show you that. Now I will tell you, this video, I'm zoomed in a little bit, and when I'm lifting up things to show you, they're kind of out of frame, and I apologize for that. But this is a super cute set, and I think you'll, if you have the Pooh and the Piglet and the Tigger and the Eeyore, you're probably going to want Rabbit and Owl. And it is releasing in the shop today, and so I'd encourage you to check it out if you want to get it. I'll link all the materials in the description box below, and I would appreciate it if you would shop my links. And so we're just getting Owl assembled. So I put the back of the eyes on already, and now I'm just putting the body, the top layer of the body on, and then we're going to put some wings on here. Now I thought I was going to glue the wings one way, but then I'll wind up gluing them another way. Anyway, I'll change my mind on that. I'll just fool around with them until I figure out what I want to do. I've got the wings already on the first owl assembled in one way, and then I'm going to do it in the other way. I was figuring that it looked like to get it how I was thinking I was going to do it, I've got it, I need the other arm. So I'll just move it around and get it how I want it. I'm wanting him to have his one arm up in the air, like he's teaching something, because there is a pointer that a teacher would have and a sheet of paper, and there are some little glasses that go with this owl as well. So it looks like him as the teacher. And then, so we're going to have a couple different options here with our owl. And there's a little, tiny little die cut piece for the nose, and I've got it. It comes with it die cuts out with the legs, and so I used an orange for the feet, I should say, and the nose, and you can just die cut those two pieces out together. So one of them I put the legs a little closer to the fur, and the other one I made the legs look a little bit longer, so you can do what you want with this. Now we're going to assemble Rabbit, and you've got, the 4 leg pieces, and then you've got the 2 ears. Now there are 4 ears in the set, so that you can have some options of what you want your ears to look like. So they do include 2 different options for the ears. There's kind of longer, wider ones, and then more narrow ones, just depending on what you choose to use. I think I'm using the more narrow ones here. I'm just bringing in a blending brush that has some blue on there and just adding some, just a little bit of dimension to my rabbit. Now you could use gray for Rabbit if you wanted to, but I chose this soft blue. I thought it would be pretty, and it would coordinate with my card panel. So we'll get the ears laid down on here. I got it stuck to my finger and it fell off, so I'm going to try to get it laid down one more time. I'll tell you, my fingers were a gluey mess. Now I'm going to get the legs on here, and I'm grabbing everything and getting it organized. Then once I blend, I get it mixed up, and then I can't find that front back leg, and I keep looking at it, and it's just, I'm grabbing the arm as I'm looking at it and getting confused. And then I'll realize, oh, the leg's up there. In fact, I started even looking at the die going, what? I thought maybe I was looking at it, I thought, man, they've made a mistake with this die, and I've fooling around with it and everything. It's because that is the front feet. And in a minute, I'll see that other one. It's at the top left of my bunny's ears. You'll see it up there next to the white dish. So here's where I'm looking at the dies. I'm like, are my dies messed up? Anyway, I will figure it out. There, that's when I saw it. I'm like, oh, there's the leg. When I first had it, I had it right, but then when I blended, I got them confused. So we'll just get this front leg laid on there, and then we'll put the one behind it. And it kind of has a little furry edge on it, and we'll just get it laid down on there. And then we'll get the front feet on there. I guess we should call him hands because he's going to be holding a teacup. So there we go. We've got our rabbit assembled. I'm just going to add some more ink to it just to blend it up a little bit and give it a little bit more dimension. So now I have 2 owls and the rabbit, and we're going to assemble. We're going to put our teacup on our saucer, and I've just die cut it out in a darker blue, and then we've got just a kind of a taupe colored or dune colored coffee cup there, or teacup. And I've got a couple of branches. Here's where I'm bringing in the paper. This is where Al is the teacher, and he's got a piece of paper that has a lesson on it, and he's going to be holding it. And then he will also have his little pointer stick that a teacher would have to point to the chalkboard with or whatever. Now here's, I'm going to grab this pointer stick and just tuck it underneath his wing and then line it up to where it's pointing at the paper. And then I'll stick some glue down on there. I think this is super fun, super cute. This whole set together, I think take a 5x7 card and bring in all the friends. I may have to do that. That'll be fun. Now I'm going to lay this teacup down here on the hands, and I'm not going to like it, and I'll wind up peeling it off and moving it for my card purposes. So you've also got a pencil in that dish, and you've got a pan in that dish, and then I've also die cut 2 tree limbs out. And then you've got all of these numbers on the embossing panel there, and you've got like first and second and that type of stuff on there. I just think it's fun. It'd be great for a kid's birthday party. So I'm going to bring in some additional layers for this, and I'll go digging around for some dies and create some additional panels for this particular card. But right now I'm going to get him popped up because I know we're going to have some dimension on here. And then we've got our owl. And I've cut the little glasses, and these are so cute. They don't really fit across both eyes, but you kind of nestle them on the bottom of his nose, kind of like he's, looking down his nose into his glasses. And they're super cute. Now here's where I'm going to go searching for a panel. And I actually used a couple of panels. I wanted to use the white to land them on, but I thought the brown would be nice to bring it back in as well. So I'm going to layer a brown and a white panel on here. This is where I'm like, I don't like where the teacup is. And so I start fiddling with it. And eventually I'll rip it off there and just move it and lay it down. So we'll get these 2 panels laid down on here. And this will give us an area for our focal point. We'll get our owl laid down on there. And I'm going to use the Better Press Sentiments for this. Now I'm just bringing in that blue blending brush and just knocking some of the white edge off of there. Just add a little blue hue. And you can barely see it. I'm going to bring in one of my branches and position it so that I can have my owl on there. And then we'll have the rabbit and kind of drinking tea while he's listening to the lesson. Here's where I don't like how it's positioned, so I use my pick tool and just pull it off and then reposition it in a way that I like it a little bit better. So it'll kind of look like the rabbit is drinking the tea and listening to the lesson that the professor is sharing. We'll get our rabbit laid down on there. And then our branch. And this is kind of a longer video since I did a lot of die cutting and assembly on here. And then we've got 2 cards. So if you hang with me, let me know if you're still watching at this point. We're kind of halfway through the first card. And then if you stay till the end, I'd be interested in knowing. I normally run a little bit shorter videos, and the average retention on the video is quite short. So I never know, does anyone actually watch the whole video or not? Just taking in my glue eraser and cleaning up some bits and pieces. I have glue all over myself. I'll tell you what, today I was the first day of, well, not necessarily the second day, I guess, that my sister and I worked on the VBS, the Vacation Bible School decorations. I'm going to bring in this biggest sentiment here for this card, and it's the one that says, I'm going to try and remember, I'm going to look at the better press and see if I can see what it says. I had to pull it out of there. It says, if you live to be 100, I want to live to be 100 minus 1 day, so I never have to live without you. And I think it's a great sentiment. Now here's where I lift it up, and you can't really see the card, but you could see it as I was assembling it, and I will put some pictures at the end so that you can check it out. And now we're going to move on to the birthday ones. And this is the Classic Birthday Accessories. And I've got all my bits and pieces in here, and we're just going to assemble this. I'll speed it up and play some music, and then we'll come back and put together our card. Okay, so we've got our card base, and I brought in another one of those 3D embossed panels in the white, and we're just going to get our owl laid down on here, and all of our birthday celebration items that come in our classic birthday accessories. And we will also use another one of those Better Press sentiments, a very happy birthday sentiments. We'll use that as well. Now you can see we've got a cake, we've got a cupcake, we've got a banner, we have 2 gifts, we have a heart, and we have 3 party hats, and we have some confetti that we can use on this. Now I'm just messing with a hat, trying to figure out all the bits and pieces on here, and so I'm fiddling around with it. I'm going to add some, I really wanted a different color like poof to my hat to add on there, but I'm just going to add the blue that I have. In fact, I'm going to stack multiple circles up on that just to create the top of the party hat. And I'm going to take the banner and I'm actually going to put some foam squares on it and kind of pop it up. We've got so much dimension with this 3D embossing folder that I thought I'd get it to adhere better if I just used the foam squares and just kind of pushed them down rather than relying on it to be, glued down on, multiple levels of height on that card. So we're just bringing that banner in and just kind of spreading it across. We've got the cake. Once I get my owl laid down, I will kind of tuck that cake underneath his wing to where it looks like he's carrying it. And so for this purpose, it's like he is attending the birthday party, because we're going to have the cake and then we'll have some gifts that he's taking. So I'm just going to use one of these hats and just position it on there. I think I decided to pop it up. I'll have to cut it down because it's a pretty narrow hat, and then we'll just put a thin piece of foam on there and then we'll pop that hat up. This would be a darling birthday set for any child that would love it, or anybody that loves Pooh. I recently have turned my grandsons onto Pooh. I've been putting it on periodically, and Gunnar really likes the Tigger. We have a Tigger stuffed animal here, and we go bounce, bounce, bounce with a Tigger. And so, and he's played with that quite a while before I actually started putting the Pooh cartoons on for him to watch. And so he played with that a lot. And so one day we were looking for something to do and to keep him entertained, and I came across the Pooh cartoons, and he got a kick out of that because he'd never seen them before, and here he had this Tigger that he was playing with. And honestly, I don't think it was his. I think it probably, I don't know, it might have been one of my girls. It might maybe been one of theirs. I don't think it was his. So here's the confetti, and I've done it in the pink and the blue. Now these confetti pieces have 3 and 4, maybe 3 and 2 layers. There's 3 layers that go on the blue when it's a little bit bigger, and it basically creates your dimension as your confetti curls. And so I'll get those laid down on here. And then the pink one is a little bit shorter, so it just has 2 pieces that you would layer to get your dimension on your confetti. I've just got some dishes from the kitchen that I have my die cut pieces laying in. I've been doing a lot of advanced die cutting, like getting the die cutting done well before I can sit down and make the card. And so I brought in a bunch of dishes from the kitchen that I could just throw them in and have them ready when I get a chance to actually sit down and create the card. So that's why I've got this stack of dishes. These dishes are actually like my little appetizer dishes that I use when we're having a little party or something. So I think this is coming together cute. So we'll get everything pressed down on here. And we are going to bring in another one of our sentiments. I think I go with Make a Wish on this one. And we're going to just tuck it in. Try to get it positioned in there nicely. I think I move it down a little bit and just position a little bit better. So that'll finish up this card, and I think they both are just really cute. It's a super fun die set. If you love dies, this is a great one. So I appreciate you watching, and I hope that you have a great day. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.